Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. If you would like to know more about my knitwear designs, please check in the description below, and there you will find a link to my Ravelry designer page. And on that page, you'll be able to browse all of the patterns that I have available for you to check out. And if you would like to make one, you can get a copy of the pattern yourself and maybe whip one out. If you do decide to knit one of my patterns, I would absolutely love to hear about it. You can either talk to me in the comments below, or in the description below you will also find a link to my YouTube group for my Facebook group for my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. There it is a closed group, so if you request to be added, I'll add you and we can share pictures and talk about things in a little bit slightly more of a privacy, you know, as private as anything gets on the internet. Today is the first day of June. It just so happens that the first Thursday of June is also the first day of June. So woohoo, that's exciting, which means it's video blog. Obviously, I am a little verklempt today. My talking is not working so well, but we will try to work through this. I'm going to chat a little bit about what happened in the past month and what's coming up this month and the rest of the summer, because it is actually summer. My son is out of school, so that might put a wee bit of a cramp in how many videos I'm going to be able to get up. Because this summer is fixing to be absolutely crazy, but in a good way. So I'm not really worried about it. We will see what we can work through. My son might even be making maybe a guest appearance. I don't know. If you guys want to see him, let me know in the comments below, and I might be able to get my son to come on. He is a little bit of a crazy man, but we have lots of fun, and he likes the YouTubes. So there we go. I don't know if you can tell, but I got my hairs cut this month, so that's one, because I'm getting ready for something fun. But let's first see. I made a list of things I wanted to talk about. The big thing that happened in May, it was May, right? And you might have caught a little bit about it on the channel, is I released a new shawl pattern. I'm so excited. This is, looky there. This I called Ready Player One. It is a top-down triangular shawl, which means it starts right here where my nose is with a, and you know what? I'm covering up my thing. It starts right here with a garter tab cast on, and then it's got this really fun texture pattern that's really relaxing, and you work the texture pattern down, and then you start this slip stitch mosaic color work. I know I've mentioned before, but I'll just reiterate. The cool thing about slip stitch mosaic is that you're only working with one strand, one color at a time. You're not carrying anything along the rows. Here, I'll show you the back of it. See? Hold it still, Barbara. Ooh, there we go. I can't really see through it. See, it's just your knitting stripes and your slipping stitches. There's no floats to manage. You just carry it up the side. Let me see if I can find where the carry is. So you can sort of see it. It's fairly well disguised, but you just carry it up the side for the rows that you are doing the color work. So it is relatively simple color work. You go from the solid to the mosaic, and then we have a fun lace pattern. Now, the reason why I called this pattern Ready Player One is because I thought these guys looked like Pac-Man. So they go jump, 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 jump. I really thought it looked like Pac-Man. It kind of evoked that feeling. So it's sort of an 8-bit homage to video games, and you guys know my geekery. And then after I decided this was Pac-Man, I decided to choose a lace that sort of evokes a maze. That's why it's real linear, and I thought that was cool. And it is a fun warm shawl. This is knit in Aspen. It's a sport weight yarn. It's got cashmere in it, and I love it. So this is Ready Player One. It is available now on Ravelry for you to download and knit up yourself. I would love to hear about it if you decide to. So that was the biggest thing that happened for me in May. May was a little bit of all kinds of crazy. I had my son's piano recital and the end of school, which the end of school was, you know, there's always a lot of stuff involved in that. Coming up this month is really, there's a 800-pound gorilla on the block, which is TNNA. If you do not know what TNNA is, it's the National Needle Arts, the National Needle Arts Foundation organization. It is the trade organization for the needle arts, which includes knitting and crochet and needlework and all that fun stuff. And their big show every year is the summer show. There's a winter show on the West Coast and then a summer show here on the East Coast. And it is next week. It's next Thursday. I'm going to do my best to have a video loaded and ready to go for you guys, because next Thursday I will be driving from my house in Atlanta to Ohio. And that is a really, really long drive. But I'm excited about it. It's going to be lots of fun. This year in particular is going to be interesting because I'm promoting my book. So, very exciting. The last 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, last 3 years, I think, I have done half booths with what it is my wholesaler, which is Stitch Sprouts. All of the designers that they represent have the opportunity to purchase a booth or rent a booth so that we can show off our stuff. And because it's a group kind of thing, it is possible if we split booths together because we're all under the Stitch Sprouts umbrella. And in the past, I've split a booth in half, and that's worked really well because that I have half of the booth to display all of my independent patterns. But this year, I also have all the patterns from my book, and I thought that I needed more space. So I have a whole booth all to myself. So that's both exciting and mildly terrifying because it's just me. It's going to be the Barbara show, and I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I'm going to have everything. I've been doing all the little things that you have to do to get a trade show booth ready. Of course, I will be taking, if you watch the video and I'll link to it, I will be taking Horatio with me. He comes and hangs out at my booth because he's my tumped duck and he will be there again. So if you missed him last year, come by and say hi. He's very huggable. And the other thing that I got this year is a little funnier. So I have a Kia Soul. It's not the biggest thing in the world. So I need dress forms, but moving full-size dress forms is a little space consuming. So I got an inflatable. I actually have 3 of these guys and I blew them up. You should have seen me. I had to blow up their butts, and I have to go shopping to dress these guys because obviously aesthetically not working out for me so much. So I got to dress those guys. There are 3 of them. We should probably come up with names from them. If anybody has any suggestions what I should name my inflatable body torsos. And by the way, my Google search bar now, I'm sure I'm on list someplace because I'm like Googling for inflatable female torsos and things like that, and I'm sure that didn't go over very well. I also Googled inflatable heads at one point, and I don't know how that's gonna go. So I have all these things. I have to make labels. I need to go to Home Depot because elements of my display are going to involve stuff from Home Depot. So it's a big production. I have a lot to do between now and then. I also have a pattern that I need to get shipped out for a magazine, and it's just like when it rains, it pours, but it's exciting and I'm having so much fun. And if you are going to TNNA, or if you know that the owner of your local yarn store goes to TNNA, please tell them to come by and say hi. I will be in booth 212, and come say hi to me. I will be doing 2 different book signings, and one in my booth on Sunday and one in my publisher's booth on Saturday. I think they're at 3:30. I'll have to double check on that. But I hope to get to see you guys. We're going to go to the fashion show, and I will do my best to get video for those of you who aren't able to come. So it'll be super exciting. Now, what else did I want to talk to you about? Ooh, so big thing in May, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, I had a book signing and trunk show at Sugarfoot Yarns in Peachtree City, Georgia. I will put a link. It might pop down up here or be down in below. I did a shop with me video, so you can see the trunk show and you can see the lovely store. It is just a jewel box of a store, and I mean that quite literally. At least one of the people who knit samples for them absolutely has a thing for beading, and there are some beautiful, beautiful pieces there. She has some really interesting different yarns, and I had lots of fun. As always, I truly enjoyed meeting all the different knitters who came out, and it's so much fun to like go with them and maybe help them pick out colors for the different patterns out of my book and simply just ooh and ah over the yarn. And so definitely check out Sugarfoot Yarns in Peachtree City. And speaking of book signings, I'm going to talk about this now, and I'll definitely also remind you guys next month. But I've got a little bit of a book tour planned for the end of July and beginning of August. My mother lives in Sarasota, Florida, and I was like, you know, as long as I'm going down there, I will check and see if any of the yarn stores there would like me to come and do a book signing. And then I tacked on a couple, and then I was like, well, maybe I could. And as I tend to do, it blew up a little bit. So I have these written down. Let me find the info. So I will be first on July 22nd and 23rd. I'll be driving from Atlanta to Huntsville, Alabama, where I will be at Fiber Artwork. And I've been to this store before, and it is a fabulous store. If you're anywhere near Huntsville, Alabama, you have got to go check it out. It is a beautiful store. She has beautiful yarn, and I will be doing a book signing there. And then on July 25th, I will be driving from Huntsville down to Mobile, Alabama, which is on the coast, and I'll be at Mobile Yarn. And I haven't seen this store yet, but I'm very excited to see it. I'll be doing a trunk show and book signing there. And I'll be teaching a class on mosaic and lace at Fiber Artwork in Huntsville and at Mobile Yarn in Mobile. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. Then on July 26th, I am going to go to, you know what? I feel like I have these dates wrong. I will double check them. I will be at Yarn Therapy in Tallahassee, Florida. You know what? I'm really second guessing myself at this point. Let me look at my handy dandy thingamajigger. I have everything written down. You know what? The date I got on, I am going to be at Mobile on the 24th. I'm going to be at Mobile on Monday and then Tallahassee on Wednesday. I was like, how can I magically go? I got to make that drive. So Wednesday, 26th, I'll be at Yarn Therapy in Tallahassee, Florida. Again, another store I haven't visited yet, but I'm super duper excited. And I will be there for that day. And then after Yarn Therapy, I'll be driving down to Sarasota to see my mom. And while I'm in Sarasota, I will be at A Good Yarn, which is a beautiful, beautiful store. I think I've done a tour of that store too when I was down there, and it is a fun store. And then on August, that's the weekend of July 29th and 30th. I'm not sure which day I'm going to be there, but we will figure it out and let you guys know. And then on August 3rd, I will be at Stash, a place for yarn in St. Petersburg. And I'm really excited. I saw their store last time I was in St. Petersburg, but she is actually relocating to a larger store. So I'm super stoked to be able to see her new store. So I will put all the information in the description below because I know I just rattled through those. But if you are in the Alabama, Gulf Coast, Florida area, Panhandle, I would love for you to come see me at my book signing. So 2 thumbs up on those. And you know what? My next thing. So last weekend, I went to an anime convention called MomoCon with my son, and he had a ton of fun, but I happened to find something for myself there. And what this is this was a company called Crit Success, and they make dice rolling rings, okay, for total gamers and nerds. And you know I'm a gamer and nerd, but this is actually super relevant. This is, let me see if I can get it to focus. There. This is a counter ring. It's supposed to be able to have you count your hit die, but what it is if you look, see, they swivel. And so I'm going to use this as a row counter. See? So here you go. So see how that says 15? And then all you have to do is push it in and you swivel the numbers around. How cool is that? And it just sits right on your thumb, and they're made out of stainless steel. So it's going to be cool. So I'm pretty excited about that I found something for knitting at the convention. Convention was a ton of fun. My son had a blast. We played board games. We played crazy video games. And, you know, you got to take a little time. It was right after school let out, and so there was no knitting. I took knitting. It stayed in the hotel room the entire time. What else is on my list? Oh, the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is a little bit of something about my book. So my book has been up on Amazon for a little while, and if you got my book and you feel like you would like to, I would really appreciate it if you could go on Amazon and leave a review. The more reviews that the book gets, then the more that it has something to do with Amazon algorithms and whether or not things pop up. But people are really interested in the reviews, and they check on it to see if they want to purchase the book. So if you have the book, and hopefully you like the book, please, if you have a moment, go to Amazon and give it a review. The more detail, you know, as much, just yay, thumbs up. Or if you want to go into detail, if you've particularly knit anything out of it, you might want to mention that you've done so and say whether or not you liked knitting it. But additional reviews on my Amazon webpage, the Amazon page for my book, would be absolutely fabulous. So if you've got the time, I would really appreciate it. I have been talking for a while. It looks like I am well over 15 minutes. So that is my June vlog. I talked about Ready Player One and my book signing at Sugarfoot Yarn and TNNA. Make sure you come see me at TNNA if you are there. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it the thumbs up, click that like button. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.